Harold was so uncomfortable, pushing the car door and scolding the street. The old lady stopped him at this time and said, "Harold, don't talk, I'll talk to her." Harold closed his mouth angrily. The old lady said arrogantly, "Elaine, let me tell you that the Wilson family is not what it used to be. The $80 million investment has been paid, and the Wilson family has passed the debt crisis and will reopen now. You are not envious? If you beg me, maybe I will show compassion to let Claire and Jacob return to work in the Wilson Group, and your pension will be restored." Hearing what the old lady said, Elaine was stunned, feeling very upset. Someone really invested in the Wilson family? Are they crazy? Just the few broken fish and shrimps of the Wilson family, how many can be on the table? Relying on them, it is strange that the Wilson Group can do it. Wouldn't they have money to burn? Thinking of this, Elaine immediately sneered and said, "You old lady, don't be too troublesome in front of me. As far as your family is, even if the Wilson Group reopens, it will definitely go bankrupt in a few days. What kind of stuff are in your family? Just like Harold, what can you do? He won't burn the whole family out." Elaine's words also touched the pain of the old Mrs. Wilson. Although the Wilson family now has Regner's investment, it does not mean that the Wilson family can sit back and relax in the future. After all, Regner's money only helped the Wilson family solve the survival problem. But the Wilson Group really needs to be led by capable people if it really wants to develop. However, the family really didn't have any talents. Noah himself was mediocre, and Harold was a low-handed waste. He was very good at eating inside and out. It really made him find a way to help the company make some money. It was really difficult. He has been in the Wilson Group for several years. Basically, a business has not been completed. It is just a waste of insufficient success and more failure. As for Wendy, not to mention, after graduating from Pheasant University, she just wandered around every day. When she first fell in love with Gerald, in addition to spending money every day, after breaking up with Gerald, she followed Fredman and Verena. Not only did she have no ability to run a business, but her own reputation was completely stinking. She can't count on it. However, the old Mrs. Wilson herself is also getting older, and she can't do many things by herself, and she is also incapable of doing things. In this case, she feels more and more that her granddaughter, Claire, whom she has never waited for, is actually the best in the entire Wilson family. The most capable one. Therefore, although she is here to mock Elaine, she actually wants to use her crushing advantage to make Elaine yield to herself again. Once Elaine yields to her again, she will help her persuade Claire to return to the Wilson family group. If Claire is willing to come back, she will definitely give her a position of director, so that she will lead the group to come back to life and create greater glories. Old Mrs. Wilson also learned about Claire's current situation before. Although her studio is not large, she has a lot of orders. The Emgrand Group gave her many design orders, and the Song family, the White family, and the Chin family also gave her many orders. Claire is slowly working on these orders now. If she can be allowed to return to the Wilson Group, won't she be able to bring them back too? Thinking of this, the old Mrs. Wilson resisted her anger and said to Elaine, "Elaine, we mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, we don't have any deep hatred. Why should you bite on us? In my opinion, we might as well let go of our prejudices. Cooperation, what do you say?" Elaine said annoyedly, "Dead old woman, you don't give me ecstasy here, we don't have deep hatred? You forgot how my leg was broken by you? You old thing, wait for me, sooner or later I want to break both of your legs." Old Mrs. Wilson pointed to the newly bought Bentley Continental and said seriously, "Elaine, as long as your family is willing to come back, I will buy your family a Bentley exactly the same." What do you think? In the eyes of Mrs. Wilson, Elaine loves vanity the most, and also loves taking advantage. If she really matches their home with a Bentley, she will definitely try to persuade Claire. However, the old lady counts everything, but ignores another characteristic of Elaine's humanity, that is, holding grudges. Although Elaine loves to take advantage of her, she herself is extremely vengeful. Before that, she had been persuading Claire to return to the Wilson family group because she had no grudges with the old lady. It was nothing more than a bit of awkwardness between the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. In front of money, a little awkwardness will naturally not have any effect on Elaine. However, things are different now. Elaine has a deep hatred for Mrs. Wilson in her heart. Back in the detention center, she took Jenna to torture Elaine to death. Not only did she torture her in an unethical manner, she even broke her leg when she finally left. Elaine hated the old lady early in her heart. Therefore, even if the old lady really paired her with a Bentley, she couldn't dilute her hatred for the old lady. What's more, Elaine is now savvy. She knows that the person she can't offend is her son-in-law Charlie. Otherwise, she might be driven out of this luxurious villa by him. Now her husband wants to divorce her, and her daughter can't help her. Of course she can't offend Charlie. Otherwise, if she really angers Charlie and gets kicked out of the house, wouldn't she has to wander on the street? What's more, Elaine knows how cruel this dead old woman's heart is, and Elaine knows better than anyone, if she is fooled by her, she might be deceived in the future. Therefore, she has decided not to be fooled by the old lady again.